to the Welcome to this episode of Mindset Mondays, a place where we give you tips to improve your personal performance and business outcomes one step at a time. Well, Virgis, because of life, it's been a few weeks since we've been together, mainly because of some things happening on my end, but I am excited to be sitting down with you once again to talk business and business ethics and just business tips and you know, things that we do to get better at our business. So first, let me ask you, brother, how are you doing?
I am doing well, man. How about yourself? You're looking kind of casual over there.
Man, listen, today I came into the office casual. I had been with clients over the last 5 to 6 days, and I was just like, man, I didn't feel like a tie today. So I came in casual with a white shirt, a blazer, and some loafers on. I know you probably never do that in the office, but
I do. I didn't get the memo, man. You should have let me know.
Hey, man, listen, it was a last minute decision. I had a tie on and I was just like, I don't know if I feel like this today. But either way, I might be dressed casual, but we're getting ready to get very professional with the topic
Absolutely.
that we're talking about today. And the topic that we're talking about is one of my favorite topics. And I mean, because it helps me process my areas of growth and how I grow. And it's the 4 levels of learning. So they say that any person who consistently learns through life and who learns new things is not involved with stale learning, but fresh learning, goes through 4 levels of learning. Won't you tell us what those 4 levels are, Verge?
Yeah, so we'll knock one out at each, but I'll go over unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, so I was going to say, man, with unconscious incompetence, it's where we don't know that we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So talk to us about that.
Yeah, man, unconscious incompetence is probably the most vulnerable place to be in when it comes to the 4 levels of learning, because you either have a responsibility in an area or you're either trying to get some results out of an area. And the first thing that you have to admit, if this area is new to you, is you have to admit that you don't know what you don't know. And so this is the area of the 4 levels of learning where you are more of a sponge than anything. And one of the hardest things that I think that we have a problem doing as professionals, not everybody, but some of us, is allowing people to know that we don't know the answers. Right? That's hard for some of us because we believe that our road to success is always based off of us having a high level of competence. But Liz Wiseman in her book, Rookie Smart, says the best thing that you can have is understanding what you don't know and having a quick learning curve to learn as quick as possible. And this is the first step of showing up in the room, saying, listen, I don't know what I don't know, but I'm here to learn. How have you seen unconscious incompetence work in your life, Verge?
I think when I was a little younger, I delved more into the unconscious incompetence.
Yep.
Nowadays, because I read a lot, I study a lot, I deal with more conscious competence where I'm working at what I don't know.
Okay.
So learning from great people like you, having mentors, other business people, and then, both of us love to read, man. And then the master class
Yes.
that both of us are in, man. We'll have to do a couple of topics maybe on those. The conscious competence is the one that I dive into the most because I know that there's a lot more that I don't know than what I do know. So,
answer me this, because I'm in a position right now in my business. I am in a position of unconscious incompetence in a certain area of my business. And that certain area of my business is how to position my business in the market. I'm not a marketer. I know what I do. When I get my clients in, they are very satisfied and I keep them. But positioning my business in the marketplace is something that I am very foreign to. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know how fast the internet moves. I don't know how to put social media ads out there. So if I came to you and said, Verge, I'm in a place of unconscious incompetence, what are some of the tips that you would give me to get me to our next area, which is conscious incompetence?
Yeah, so with what you said, man, it sounds like more that you're diving into the conscious incompetence. Actually, you hit it right on the head. I can tell you right now with social media, that's an area and a stage where I'm at unconscious incompetence.
Right.
Whether it's posting, read the algorithms and all of that. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know that I don't know. But with you, I think you're more sometimes conscious incompetence, which we both are, where we know that we don't know, but you and I have the thirst to find out what we don't know or delegate it. So you either do it yourself or you delegate it. Always believe in looking at your strengths, and whatever your weaknesses are, you delegate those.
And that's it. That is the bridge right there. We move from unconscious incompetence. I don't know what I don't know. Conscious incompetence. I do know what I don't know. Now we get to the playground of what are you going to do about it? How do I move to a conscious competence? Now I do know what I do know, and I need to do something with this information. So give me a little bit, Verge, on how conscious competence is different and a step up from unconscious competence. How do we take that step?
So so unconscious competence is more like where you're on autopilot, right? So every day I get on the phones and I prospect, like I don't even have to think about it, but there's a danger in that last state that my business coach told me in unconscious competence. Mm-hmm. And the danger of it is ego.
Yes. That is so amazing, man, that you say this. I might date our episode a little bit, but that's okay. It'll be coming out quick. I heard Giannis Antetokounmpo the other day talk about this. And basically he was talking about the difference between pride and ego. And this made me love him even more as a person and a player. He says ego is always me talking about what I did in the past. Oh, I remember when I did this, when I did that, when I did that. And then pride is always talking about what I'm going to do in the future. And in the middle of that is humility. And I think that conscious competence and unconscious competence live in the area of humility, because they say, I do know some things, but I know I need to learn more. And even if I know all that I need to know about this thing, I still need to do it and learn how to do it at a pace that is effortless, right? So lifelong learners, one of the things that they stay in places of humility. They never believe that they have it all figured out, because they know that there's more to learn and there's more to do. What would you say towards that on being a person that is in a place and in many areas in your business, in your life, you are in unconscious competence, but why aren't you satisfied with that?
Yeah, so when it comes to the ego part of it, and I loved what Giannis said when he talked about it at his press conference. Don't love the fact that he won the championship. He got lucky, but that's another story for another day. I think the secret ingredient of the ego part is that when you put to your point and to Giannis's point, the ego comes in when you're focusing more on you. But when you're focusing on serving the client and serving other people, then it's not on you. And also, when you always give the credit to God, then there's no way that you're putting the focus on yourself.
Verge, that is so good. And that is good enough for us to close out this episode. So for all my learners out there, I want you to assess the things that you're very good at. Assess where you are. If you are at a conscious competence or an unconscious competence, and assess how you need to get better. And for the things that you're learning, don't be scared to learn new things. You need to assess if you are at a unconscious incompetence or conscious incompetence and find out how to get better from there. The people who are great are people who continue to learn. Verge, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, man.
For this episode of Mindset Mondays. All our watchers out there, we want you to subscribe. We want you to share and keep looking out for the new information we have coming out, because if it's not of value to you, then we don't need to do it. We want to be a value add to your life. We'll see you next episode.
Thanks so much.